everyone! Would you like to learn how to change verbs into nouns using one simple trick? Welcome to Jen's Jyugyou. My name is Jen, and today I'm going to teach you how you can turn verbs into nouns by using the suffix -ion. In English, a suffix is a series of letters that are added to the ends of words to help them change their meaning. So in this case, we're going to be focusing on adding -ion to the ends of words to change them from verbs into nouns. In English, when you see a word ending with -ion or -tion or -sion, these are nouns. And the ending -ion, -tion, or -sion is usually pronounced as shun. Shun. I'm going to give you 8 simple tips that will help you change verbs into nouns. The first tip is very simple. It is simply to add -ion to the end of your verb. For example, one of my favorite activities is to act on stage. If we take the verb act and we add -ion to the ending, we get the noun action. Action, discuss. To discuss something means to talk about it together with other people. We can change the verb discuss into the noun discussion. I'm glad we could discuss this serious topic together. We could have a great discussion. Correct is a verb, and it means to make something right. To make something correct, you are correcting it. I need to correct my students' essays. And we can change the verb correct to the noun correction. I am correcting this paper so that my students can learn from the corrections I made. Instruct. To instruct somebody means to teach them how to do something. And then we can change the verb instruct into the noun instruction. I went to a dance class and the teacher instructed me how to do salsa dancing. Her instructions were easy to follow. My second tip for using this suffix to change verbs into nouns is that if your verb finishes with the letter E, you need to erase or delete the letter E before you add -ion to the ending. So when you're speaking, this doesn't actually change the pronunciation or change anything, but it's an important rule to know for when you are writing these words. Celebrate! To celebrate something means to enjoy this occasion or event with other people and do something significant to mark this event. And we can change the verb celebrate into celebration. Let's celebrate my birthday together. It'll be a great celebration. Concentrate. The verb concentrate means to pay attention and to focus your energy on something. And we can change the verb concentrate into concentration as the noun. Be quiet, I can't concentrate. You're making me lose my concentration. Translate. The verb translate means to take something that's in one language and to put it into another language. We can change the verb translate into the noun translation. I translated this video and I hope my translation is correct. Organize. If you organize something, you make it easy to find things. It's nice and clean and tidy and easy to use. You can change the verb organize into the noun organization. I like to organize things because I think organization is important. My third tip for you for using the -ion suffix is a little bit tricky. If your verb ends with VE, BE, or ME, then before you add -ion, you need to delete those letters, so erase, get rid of VE, BE, or ME, and change it to PT. So the ending of the noun will actually become PT-ion. Describe. To describe something means to talk about its characteristics, talk about the way it is. And we change the verb describe into the noun description. If there is a crime and you are a witness, the police might ask you to describe the person who you saw. And then the police can use your description to track down the suspect. Subscribe! Please subscribe to Jen's Jyugyou. The verb subscribe means to sign up to receive something or to receive notifications about something. We change the verb subscribe into subscription. If I subscribe to a magazine, then I have a magazine subscription with that magazine company. Receive. Receive means to get something. We can change the verb receive into the noun reception. Reception. I received many great gifts at my wedding reception. Resume is a verb which means to continue doing something. To resume your studies means to keep going with your studies. Don't stop. And we change the verb resume into the noun resumption. Due to the current situation, some construction projects are unable to resume. The date for resumption has not been set yet. My fourth tip for you today is if the verb ends in olve. So the last tip was if it ends in ve. This tip is specifically if it ends in olve. If your verb ends in olve, then you need to erase, get rid of the ve, and you're going to add ut plus ion. So ut-ion will be the ending for verbs that would end in olve. Haha! Solve! The verb solve means to find the answer to something. And we change the verb solve into the noun solution. So if I solve a problem, that means I found the solution. Evolve. The verb evolve means to develop or to change into something new. We change the verb evolve into the noun evolution. Evolution. If you are evolving Pikachu, the next step in evolution is Raichu. The fifth tip I have for you today is if your verb ends in MIT. If the last three letters of the verb are MIT, then when you're turning that verb into a noun, you need to erase the letter T and replace it with a double S. So the ending of the verb will be SSION, specifically MISSION. Permit. Permit is a verb which means that you are allowing someone to do something. You are saying that it is okay for that action to happen. And we change the verb permit into the noun permission. If a child wants to go on a field trip at school, the school needs to make sure that the parent will permit the child to go. The parent has to give their permission. Submit. To submit something means to present it to someone, to give it to someone, or to hand it in. And we change the verb submit into the noun submission. If there is a contest, I need to submit my entry so that I can win. And then hopefully I will receive confirmation of my submission. Tip number 6 is actually using the suffix ation. So you're going to be adding ation to the end of the verb. However, you also need to make sure that when you're doing this, you follow any of the other rules that we already talked about. Prepare. To prepare something means to make it ready. We change the verb prepare into the noun preparation. So you're adding ation to the end, but because the verb is ending in an E, you're going to erase the E. Prepare, preparation. Whew, I've spent a long time preparing for my test. I hope I have done enough preparation. Cancel. The verb cancel means to stop something, to no longer allow something to happen. We change the verb cancel into the noun cancellation. So in this case, it's following the grammar rule that, in terms of spelling, when your word ends with a consonant, vowel, consonant, you need to double the consonant before you add whatever ending you're trying to add. This is a very common spelling rule, not just for this prefix, but in English. So consonant, vowel, consonant, double the consonant, the final consonant. So cancel, cancellation, adding ation to the end after you've doubled the L. Due to the rain, we had to cancel the baseball game. I was very upset by the cancellation. Tip number 7. If your verb ends with the letters D, E, you need to erase the D and the E and then add S-ion. So get rid of DE and add S-ion. Which one should I choose? I can't decide. And if we take the verb decide, it changes to the noun decision. Decision. So decide, decision. I can't decide. I will close my eyes to make the decision. Boom! Explode. The verb explode means that something is building up and suddenly lets loose. We can change the verb explode into the noun explosion. Explosion. So, explode, explosion. I love to watch beautiful fireworks explode in the sky, but sometimes the noise of the explosion startles me. And my 8th tip for you is to remember that in English, even though we have lots of rules and tips and things that can help us to improve our English, there's always an exception to the rule. There are many exceptions and many other verbs that we didn't talk about yet in today's lesson that don't follow any of the tips that I have provided you with. One of these verbs is the verb to suspect someone. If you suspect someone, it means that you think they are possibly guilty of doing something. Maybe you have a little bit of evidence and you think, that person, I'm very suspicious of that person. I think it's them. I suspect them. And then you can change the verb suspect into the noun suspicion. I suspect that you are guilty. And once I have the evidence, I will prove that my suspicion is correct. And the reason why this verb suspect into suspicion doesn't follow any rules is because it's actually ending with C-ion. C-ion. None of the other verbs or examples have C-ion at the ending. So for spelling, be careful of this one. So today, you learned all about how to use the suffix -ion and how to change verbs into nouns. I hope that these 8 tips that I've given you today will be very helpful for you as you expand and improve your English vocabulary. And now it's time for Question of the Day. Today's question is, please write some sentences changing verbs into nouns using the suffix -ion. Practice using the -ion suffix in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you found it useful, please subscribe to Jen's Jyugyou so you don't miss any lessons, and give this video a thumbs up. You will have my appreciation. Good luck with your English studies, everyone, and I'll see you in the next lesson.